Yeah. So Open Text VIM basically is a highly integrated with the SAP various modules like SAP ABAP, workflows, SAP MM, SAP FICO. So it is highly integrated with all these modules. So Open
Okay.
Text is basically to serve the PO-based invoice processing and non-PO based invoice processing and for the down payments. So uh, it is not for the payment run and all. VIM is not
Mhm.
specific for the payment run. It is only for the vendor posting, invoice posting.
Okay.
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 So when I'm saying like OpenText is a tool, I agree, but SAP has also SAP is also having the skills like the skills modules like SAP MM and SAP FICO, right? In MM,
Mhm.
basically we have the Miro transaction also, right, where we can post the invoice. So earlier, what happened? Like what was a basic issue? I will say, like which business used to face, uh,
Mhm.
uh, like in SAP ERP or S4 HANA that version. So what happened basically? Like the AP team basically sits and they process the invoice, right?
Mhm.
So whenever any whenever any vendor invoice always comes with the material or services, right? So at that point of time, only the vendor invoices also comes into the premises, and they are like it will go to the financial department, and they will further process the invoice and post the invoice, and then after that the payment team comes into the picture, and they will run the payment and with F110, and then just release the payment accordingly to the vendor, right? So,
Okay.
what basically happens is like earlier there's a concept of the parking. So first, the AP team parks the invoice, and then their super users, it will go to their super user, and they are the one who will post the invoice in the Miro transaction. So
Okay.
parking we use they usually use transaction MIR7 for parking
Mhm.
the invoice, and then after it super user will further validate it and will process the invoice, because there is and for like for the non-PO also, like it for non-PO we don't have that concept basically for the parking or something.
Mhm.
So for the
Mhm.
non-PO, what it is just a direct financial accounting entry, right? So even though like company cannot give the authorization to all the users, right? Like to all the AP users to process the financial accounting entry. So what happened basically, they take the approval over the email, and via
Mhm.
which they process the invoice further and post the invoice accordingly in the FB60 transaction for the non-PO cases, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
so that is the so it is in the mail, so we call it as a offline approval, which basically which we receive, right? Because you
Mhm.
cannot have a track, right?
Yeah.
You cannot have a track
No
if
records.
the approval has been given on the email, right?
Yeah.
So now there Vim has come with the proper business practice of the business processes, where is
Mhm.
Vim is offering that all the approvals can be happened within the Vim itself.
Mhm.
The communication can be happened between the AP user, the text team, the accounting team, the requesters. So all the communications can happen within the Vim itself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you don't have to go to any other tool or any other email. Just take the approval or something. Just do each and everything in the Vim itself.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is so there the vendor invoice management comes into the picture, which is the OpenText proprietary solution, which is designed to automate the vendor invoice processing of the business. So as I mentioned earlier, like Vim is not a separate tool.
Mhm.
Vim is designed in SAP itself. It is embedded in SAP, so everything, all the transactions will run smoothly in SAP itself. For example, we use SPRO path, right? So in the SPRO path,
Yeah.
to like we are the functional consultants who always use this SPRO path to do the configuration based on the business requirement, like company code
Mhm.
creation, so many things like the document types and all, right? So we do all those activities.
Yeah.
The same thing in Open Text VIM also, we have the SPRO,
Mm.
but it starts with /opt/SPRO.
Mm.
Okay, so everything is there in the SAP itself. So I will not say you have to go to any other product or any
Mm.
other validation to like do all these configurations. Okay,
Okay.
so basically VIM is embedded in SAP, so it is an add-on tool. uh what happened? Okay, fine. So this is what I discussed earlier also. Let me just give a brief about it. So how this VIM basically works. So first ingestion happened. Ingestion where like the hard copy invoice comes, and where the scanning team convert those hard copy to the soft copy invoices. Okay, and then
Mm.
after that, once it is converted, then they will ingest it in the VIM, so that the VIM information, VIM doc IDs and all that gets created in the system. Then there is a this is the OCR solution, that is an optional tool basically.
Mm.
So which fetches the information from face of the invoice and all, and will send it back to the SAP ERP or S/4HANA. Okay, then
Okay.
so once it comes back once after extraction or anything, so it comes back to the SAP to further validate those information via APT, and APT can post the invoice accordingly. If any approval is required, they can go with the approval. So how this approval is required and all, this is something which is the part of the functional consultant. So based on the
Mm.
business requirement, we will set up the system accordingly, so
Mm.
that it shouldn't be like, okay, the AP team will just realize, okay, no, I need to take the approval and all. So that is our responsibility as a functional
Mm.
consultant to put it there as an exception, so that if any approval is required, then it will be visible to the AP team, so that
Mm. Okay.
the proper workflow can be triggered to the AP team, and invoice can be posted accordingly. Okay, so
Okay.
this is just a high level things, and then once the invoice is posted, then the payment run and all that with the F110 transaction. So that will be done. So I think this is what we covered earlier also. Let
Yeah.
me just start. So these are the course content which we already discussed it. Now let's start with the words, or like with the terminologies which is used in the open text course content which I have given earlier also. So
Okay.
okay, so now just jump to the archive doc type. So
Mm.
now what is this archive doc type? So if I tell if I need to give the definition of the archive doc type, now what is this archive doc type? You know,
Mm.
right? That you are a SAP consultant. You know, if there is any doc type, then it is holding some value, correct? It
Yeah.
is having some control parameters, right? So
Yeah.
we create the archive doc type to get the archive doc ID, and
Mm.
where actually my that is my unique ID, where exactly my invoice copy will store in the archive server.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
so in the archive server, we are having my invoice, like I am having my invoice copy, right? So to
Yes.
retrieve the exact, so there could be a thousands of invoice copies, right?
Mm.
So how do we come to know that this is my invoice code? This is what I need, correct? So
Yeah.
that is a unique archive doc ID which gets created whenever we are doing scanning.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So whenever we
Okay.
are doing any scanning, so at that point of time, my archive doc ID gets created. Archive doc ID. So for any of the unique doc ID, there is an archive doc type. So whenever we do scanning, we do scanning based on the archive doc.
Okay.
Okay, mostly like for all the for the various industries, right? So uh, we used to create the archive doc type based on a country, so that the reason is so that we can easily identify that this
Mm.
particular document belongs to this country.
Okay.
like for India, for UK, for Spain, for Germany, for Switzerland. So like that, we create the archive doc type accordingly.
So it should be created in the custom way, like because you mentioned the ZPDF's company code country, right? So
Correct.
okay,
Okay. So basically, we create. So this is just just an
just an
example. That's an example.
okay,
So based on the requirement, basically. So this is one of the concept of the archive doc type. Now we have another concept called as a DP doc type, and that I will discuss it in the
okay,
next slides. Okay,
okay,
just to give an overview, this is the
okay.
archive doc type where exactly my archive doc ID gets created, and that is the unique ID to get my invoice copy. Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Every doc archive doc ID is linked with the with my DP doc ID also. Now, what is
Okay.
DP doc ID? DP doc ID is a unique VIM doc ID.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is having a so for any of the DP doc type, we don't create it based on the country. Okay, we always try to create the archive doc type based on the country. Okay,
Okay.
because this is just for the reporting purpose, I will say, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now, let me pin it. So, so now, what? So the transaction code to do drag and drop or to do the scanning in the system, it is OAWD.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you can
Okay.
write the OAWD also.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the OAWD. So if you see here, so these are the presetting folders where like exactly my like you can so whatever you can see here, like let's suppose BIM training, I will just show you. So here, like the VIM training one PO, like that it is being mentioned, right? So
Yeah.
this is what basically we um uh, uh, what we say uh
We can
this
create our custom thing.
correct. So we
Like
can
yeah. Okay.
so whenever we are open this, right? So this is linked with the unique archive document.
Okay.
Okay, so where we
So
do the drag and drop and just upload
mm,
the invoice copy.
okay. Okay.
Okay, here let me just see whether it is it working fine or not.
So it is, if it is PO means, is it okay? It's based on the user, right? Who knows which is a PO or non-PO, or like randomly we can do.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. So archive doc type basically, so it is based on the requirement. So like let's suppose you are having you're not using OCR technology. Suppose okay,
Okay.
you're not using OCR technology. So what will
Mm.
happen basically? You are just going with the normal scenarios where the scanning will be done by the APT or sorry the scanning team,
Mm.
and then that particular it will come to the workflow of the APT. Okay, to
Okay.
process the further invoice. So we have
Mm.
received the hard copy invoices. Scanning team converts those hard copy to soft copy and do the drag and drop here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm.
so here you can see like I have just created it and now I can see the number of files is one. So it means that it gets updated.
Okay.
Okay, let me just do one thing. Okay, so here if you see this particular document header,
Mm.
okay, so this is one of the table of the so like we have that tables right in SAP. like
Yeah, yeah.
EKKO, EKPO,
Yeah.
MSEC, MKP, BKPF, BSEC for accountings, right? So same thing,
Yes.
that there are tables also in Vim, like
Okay.
so mostly like there are two important tables. Like for header, we use the slash opt slash vim underscore one head.
Okay.
Okay, and there is one more, which is the for the item details. So one item. It is very simple. Like you can understand it from the table name itself. That this
Yeah.
what exactly this particular table means. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a one item. So where the item details get stored.
Okay. So
Okay,
these are the main tables, right?
these are the main
Uh,
tables.
ma- ma-
Correct,
main
correct.
tables.
These are the main standard Vim tables.
Okay.
Okay. So here, if I just I have just opened it here. So here we can
Okay.
see. So here, if you see, this is the archive doc ID.
Okay. Which gets automatically created.
Correct. So I have just created. So this is my recent one, 1525.
Mm,
I can see it is just a recent
mm.
one, right?
Yeah. Correct.
So this is the one which gets created when I did the
Mm.
scanning.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the archive doc ID. So this is my
Mm.
unique number, which gets created whenever we do the scanning.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Mm.
a unique document, and we can see the date also. Archive date is coming, archive time is coming, right? And who has done
Yeah.
the archiving. So we
Yeah.
can see all the names here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
now how do we create the archive doc type,
Yeah.
right? So now
Mm.
so I have, like, in the PPT I have specified each and everything what needs to be done here. How do we
Okay.
configure it and all?
Mm.
Okay, so
Oh.
like let me just show you. So now you
Mm.
understand the flow, basically how it works, right? That this is the
Yeah.
OAWD where exactly we do the scanning, manual scanning,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. If
Now,
it is manual scanning like this, but if it is like something using a scanner as well, the same way, right?
correct. So
If
now in so OpenText basically has given one more product for the like for the scanning. It is the enterprise scan.
okay. Okay.
Okay, so I am having it, but I don't know whether it will work right now or not. This is for my client.
Okay.
So
To make yeah. Sorry.
yeah. So this is the enterprise scan, which has been given by OpenText itself.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. It is here. It is already been opened. So this is how it looks.
Yeah.
Okay. And here, like, what happened? Like, so this is the enterprise profile. So what? How
Mm.
it works basically? So scanning team goes there, click on import, take the PDF copy, open it, and they can see the PDF copy here. So this is the
Okay.
thumbnail. So they can so they accordingly they can see the copies and all. Okay, and they have scanned it. Okay, and then after it, once they have done it, then they can archive. Once they do this archival,
Oh,
then what happened? The same like OAWD I just shown to you, right? The same way
yes.
it will come to the SAP ERP or S4 HANA and will create the doc ID.
Okay. So it's the same way. But
So
does it know which system, like production or
correct,
quality
correct.
development? Yeah.
So how now how it will identify it? So here, like, this is the norm. So like I'm just so as I mentioned it, this is for the client, so that I
Mhm.
have so like this is the one archiving part. So here this is
Okay.
the coding basically. So here, like, if you
Oh,
see, this is the destination. So this is the landscape,
mm.
the instance
Okay.
ID. Okay.
Okay.
This is something which we need to configure it. We have to put the client slash opt
Okay.
slash v1001 that I will tell you we created in the like while creating the archive doc type.
Okay.
Then this is the archive doc type
Mm.
z invoice underscore one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the
Oh,
archive doc type. So here system comes to know, okay, I have, so this particular invoice needs to be go to this particular archive doc type.
Mm.
and where to go. So this is the landscape. So like you can, it could be a quality, it could be a production. Based on it, you
Mm.
need to enter it here, your instance IDs.
Okay.
And with this particular way, like once you do the archive, so it will go to this particular landscape PT1, let's suppose.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, PT1 and 400 is the client. So it will go to this
Right.
particular,
Okay.
and you can see that whatever the doc ID gets created, it will be created under this archive doc.
Okay. But it differs on each system, right? Like development is different, quality
Correct, correct.
different.
So based on it, you have to put it accordingly, like for development, for quality, for production. So this is
Okay.
the way how we can change it. So this is the enterprise scan. This is also an open text tool.
Product. Okay.
Yeah. So here, like we can do scanning it all.
Fine. Okay.
So here, oh, every time it is disconnecting. Okay. So here, if you see, this is the archive doc ID which I told, right. This is the archive doc
Yes.
ID. This is my Vim doc ID.
Okay.
This is my Vim doc ID. So everything we are going to do it under the Vim DP doc ID.
Okay.
Okay. This is the DP doc type.
Mm.
This is the DP doc ID, and this is a DP doc type.
Doc type. Okay.
And you know, right, for all the doc types, it controls the number ranges,
Yes.
right? So this is how it is controlling the number range also.
Okay.
Now, this is the archive doc type, and this is the archive doc type. That is what I was telling.
Okay. Archive doc type. Okay. Got it.
This is the archive doc type.
Archives doc type. Okay.
Correct. Archive object. This is the archive. This is my archive doc type. Okay. Now what I will do is I will just show you. So this is the OAD5 where we
Yeah.
create the OAD5. So here it is there in the PPT itself. OAD5. Go to the
Okay.
OAD5 T code. Okay. To
Okay.
create the archive doc. Okay. So here if I just go to this ZPDF, or let me just do one thing. I have just used the existing one, just checking it.
Okay.
Okay, so here if you see, so these are the pre-process methods and the tasks. So that I have already specified here, like methods and all, and what needs to be tasked. So now I am just also going to show you. So
Okay. But like this, we can create manually any Z thing, like some
correct,
other Z.
correct, correct,
Oh,
correct. That we can do.
okay. So it's like a wizard then. Okay.
Yeah. Let me just do. Okay. Now let me just try to create the new archive doc type. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the one. So here, like, let's suppose I am just creating zpdf underscore 1000
Okay.
zpdf for Germany archive doc type. Let me just put my name Sanch. Okay, here we don't have to do anything. It's not
Okay.
required. Okay, or else like if we want that, we want to take the pattern or the template. So like we can just we want just to replicate the same thing. Like for example, this one. I can just put it here. Right. So it has just copied each and everything. So now if you see, all the values are coming automatically. Now, if I just remove
Okay.
this, okay.
Yeah.
So if you see here, now workflow document type is mandatory. So this thing needs to be ticked. So that is what I
Okay.
specified here. Workflow doc we need to tick it. Okay.
Okay.
So then let me just do the same thing. We'll show you what exactly we do. So once we are done with this, then this is the document class. Now, what is the document class? See, if you are going with any of the implementation project or anything, you always
Mm.
recommend client only to
To
use the
use
PDF
PDF.
copy.
Okay. Fine.
Don't
Okay.
go with the TIF, PNG,
Mm.
JPEG format and all, because this can create an issue with the OCR tool, because it cannot extract the information.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because it could be a little difficult for OCR tool to understand the information. So always,
Mm.
always recommend that to use the PDF copy.
Okay.
Once we are done with this, now
Mm.
here the important things are the object type. So whenever we are
Mm.
creating any of the archive doc type, right, there are
Mm.
three important archive doc types. Let me just put it in. So there are, it is already been there in the PPT. I will show you. So
Okay.
the so uh, object type of archive doc types. Okay. So what are the object type which we need to use for the archive doc type creation? First, /opt/v1001. So
Mm.
this is something technical things, but we should be knowing about it. This is something which we always created whenever we are creating any new archive doc type.
Oh.
We have to
Is it a
assign it.
mandatory?
It's a
Okay.
mandatory. Yes, it's a mandatory.
Mandatory. Okay.
Okay. Then second thing is we have bus 2081.
Mm.
Bus 2081 is for the invoice.
Okay.
Okay. Third is the
Okay.
BKPF. BK, sorry, BKPF. This
Okay.
is for the FI. So for
Mm.
example, like we want to use the my PDF copy, sorry, archive doc type only for the invoice.
Mm.
So we can create it with this OPT/V1001 and extend it to
Okay.
the bus 2081.
Okay.
No need to do it for the BKPF.
Okay.
Okay, but sometimes like we want for everything, like we want that particular archive doc type, we can use it for all the cases. But mostly we
Okay.
always try to create for all the cases, like for bus 20 for all these three object types.
Okay.
Okay, so if someone asks you that what is the difference between the bus 2081 and BKPF, then you can always specify bus 2081 is used for the PO based
MM.
invoice, PO based
Okay.
invoice, and BKPF we use for the non PO based invoice.
Okay.
Okay, now then the next is the method pre-process
Mm.
underscore non underscore OCR. So this is the standard which OpenText has given it, and we have to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have the task 271. This is for the non OCR, and if we are using
Mm.
for the if we are sorry, if we have to use for the OCR, then we have the different task. This is a standard one, and that we have always have to use it.
Okay. It's like a default thing, these things to
These are the
be,
default things. Yes.
these are the default things. No change in that.
See, OpenText OCR pre-process workflow. It is first 70 and 71 for the prior non-OCR.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so these are the two difference basically. So that is also there. So like in the task name, if you see WS, this is for the OCR and this is for
Mm.
non-OCR.
So just a question. So for OCR means is the like a scanning and coming over, right? So what's the difference between the,
OCR basically like if we are using that ICC, BCC, IES channel,
yeah,
then we
yeah.
move with that OCR part.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there are cases where like for the urgent invoices and all, we want that directly it should be scanned in, and it shouldn't go to the OCR tool.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
we
Okay.
we go with this particular option.
Fine, got it. Okay.
Okay, so the same whatever we are entering here, we have to put it in the task. Same thing. Just continue, continue.
Okay.
Now these are the two important things. One is the content repository.
Mm.
Now content repository, if you see, there are few content repository that is a always a two-digit number, a two-digit ID.
Okay.
Okay, one is so like if you see there, you can see six are content repository. So this will be created by the basis team.
Okay. Yeah.
What is this
Okay.
content repository? So content repository is directly linked with your archive server.
Archive server. Okay.
Content repository is directly linked with the archive server. So like currently, like here we are using MA. So because that has been configured, I think. So so that is the reason. So MA I have just selected the content repository.
Okay.
Now there is one link. This is also very important thing. Now what is this link? So what OpenText said, right? There should be some linkage of your archive server, and so I will just show you this POA01.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so this is the object type.
Mm.
This is my content repository ID. So if I just execute
Okay.
this, you can see V1001, my content repository. This is my archive doc ID.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is my doc type, archive doc type. This is my archived on. So all these things are being stored in this particular link table. So like that, OpenText has given the various TOA01, TOA02, like that we are having it. Okay, so
Okay.
here we have to map it. We always will map it in TOA01.
Okay.
Okay, so here this is the one.
Okay.
Okay, so there are four options you can see, right?
Yes. So
So
it should be always TOA01 then.
yes. Okay, here
The one you have created. This
yeah,
one.
I'm just trying to put it here. So now what is this
Okay.
presetting folder? So this is the presetting folder. So if you see here in OAWD, right?
Mm.
So these are all the presetting folders. So this name,
Ah,
right?
okay. Mm.
So all these are the presetting folders.
Okay.
Okay, let me just try to put it here in the VIM training something. Let me see if I can put it here. Something.
Oh, these are all, it is showing all these are there in the system. So where do you want to add
Correct.
your
Correct.
okay.
So this is a VIM training. Okay. So I'm just
Oh,
putting it here in this VIM training.
continue.
Continue. No need to. So this is for the any to create any new presettings or something. We don't require it. We can continue here. And here we can. So this is the storing for subsequent entry. So these are the various options. So like how do we want to store it? So like so if you see here, here it is showing as a storing for subsequent entry,
Okay.
right? Where like the mass
Yeah.
archiving, all these options will be out. If we select other options, so it will store and enter like that. It is the option, but mostly like as part of the standard, we use only this setting, storing for
Okay.
subsequent entry.
Okay.
Okay, continue, complete, and this is a TR. Okay, so which I am just saving.
Okay.
So this is the way like where like we have done it, right? So like linking and all. So now what are the
Okay.
types of archiving? So so types of archiving, basically we are having the late archiving and early archiving. So this OAWD is something which is the early archiving.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as I told you earlier also, like we have linked this particular archive doc type with my slash opt slash v1001 object type, right? Now we have to extend it to the other archive doc types that I have shown, right? So this is
Okay.
one we have done it,
Yeah.
correct? Now we will try
Yes.
to do it for the other. This is the BKPF. So how can we do it?
Okay.
We can do it with the OAC3 transaction. OAC3.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me just find it out. My archive doc type. I think this is the one, right? We have created this one. Let me save this. Okay, now I've created it. For example, okay. So here, this is the one. So now I have to extend this particular thing to my bus 2081 and and
The BKPF.
BKPF, correct. So now this thing I will just put create it and will copy it, and here I will add the bus 2081. Okay, there are so many entries. Let me put it bus 2081.
Okay.
Right. Done. Click on save. Done. Now again we are having this one for bus 2081. We have created it. Now we have to create for the BKPF.
Okay.
Right. Now I will do it. This data was saved. Okay, so now I have just extend my archive doc type to the two different object types for the invoice processing, for the PO based invoice processing, and for the non-PO based invoice processing.
So it's a mandatory thing to extend
Correct.
all these.
It's a mandatory.
Mandatory thing. Okay.
Correct. Otherwise, you cannot process your PO based invoice or non-PO based invoice if you will not map these object types.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have done all these settings. Now what we have to do is we have to also activate my archive doc type. Okay, now let me go to the slash. So this is what I was telling about the we have the SPR normal SPRO path, but for Vim we have the /opt/SPR.
Okay.
Okay, now we go to the cross component configuration. So see the cross component SAP archive link, SAP archive link. Okay, then we have to go to the basic customization. We can go to the basic customization. We need to go to the edit document type, right? Where is it? Edit document type. And this is the document which we have created it, zpdf underscore 1000, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here, if you see, this is not activated.
Okay.
Right. This is not activated. So it means that you will not see this particular doc type in the OAWD. We still have created it, right?
Yeah. It's like activating the object like that.
Correct.
Oh, it's so there, but it won't work or something.
Correct. So here we will just activate this. Okay. Once I've activated this, okay, then it's done. Then see, so update status of archive doc type, that is done. Now, if we want to change the archive doc type class, we need to go to this particular thing. Like we need to change it to the any other. Like let's suppose we in the starting we have selected TIF or something. We want to change it. We can directly go back and in the edit doc types. Sorry. So here, like in the document class is also there, right? So so here also we can change the like here I put there's a PDF, right? So we can change.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is to change the archive doc type class. So we can do it in this configuration. Okay.
Fine. Okay.
Any questions?
So what is that? Yeah. So what is the retention period? Something I saw in that OAC3 somewhere.
The OAC3, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this one, the right hand side. Yeah. What's
I usually put it as 0 only.
okay.
number of the months after which an entry for a stored document can be removed from the link tables.
Okay, currently actually the client which I'm working, they were having so much of these, like, for every year, if you have to do some maintenance task or something
Right.
like that, no? So
Mm-hmm.
they don't want this to get affected in the system. So that's what I'm asking, like, can we add something over here to make it like, okay, every 3 months or 6 months, just remove them?
Yeah. So that we can do it in this particular way, but mostly like what happened, we always try to put this retention, uh, like let's take an example where uh, business want that they need to store, or as per the compliance or as per the law we have to store it for the 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Right, there are so many countries, like in India I think we have to store the even the hard copy invoices for 10 years.
Okay, let me, because here they are very strict on, even I have another question to you. So yeah, that's what I was asking, like, can we do some restriction, like, like a clearing of, like clearing
Hmm.
the old data more than a year, some dummy
Yeah, so
data,
we can
something
put it here, but this is something which is based on the requirement, which is based on the
required.
client
Okay,
requirement, that if they are having it. But
okay.
mostly like it's just like because this activity can be done also in the backend, like because it is stored in the archive server, right? So that is something
Yeah,
which will be taken care by the basis team.
fine. Okay, okay, fine.
So they will also be the right person who should do this activity, who can do this
Mm,
activity.
okay, fine.
Okay. So moving further, so let me just do
Mm,
one thing. We have created it. Let's try to scan it.
okay.
So I have just put it in this zpdf, drag and drop. Let's see whether it is working fine and I'm able to get my
Yeah, that is working in the Vim doc ID.
correct. Sure. Yeah, this is the one. Right, zpdf for Germany archive doc type.
Can we restrict the image generally? Is that possible?
Restrict the image as in.
Like, for example, for last year during the go live, they did all this scanning and everything, and now they don't want to everyone to see those invoices.
Mhm. Against
Yeah,
the doc
something
ID.
like, yeah, against the doc ID, against the Vim doc ID.
Yeah, that they can do it. Even
Me,
like see, like the content repository ID which I specified, right? Here it is MA,
yeah, yeah,
right? So
yeah,
this is something. So if that content repository ID itself is not available, so what we can do is we can like for like let's suppose for the year before two years, okay. So before
yeah,
2 years, we want that all the doc IDs the images should not be visible to anyone.
yeah.
So we can change the content repository ID, okay,
Hmm.
and for those invoices, and we can do it in the backend itself. So that if anyone wants to open the doc ID, they cannot see the invoice copy at all.
Okay.
So that
If,
can
for
be
example, like some, oh, sorry. Tell me.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No. You continue. Then I'll say.
Yeah, so like for such example, like for the previous doc IDs, if you want to do it, we can directly do it with the with changing the content repository ID. Okay, now let me just show you here.
Okay.
Document here. See, it has created
Yes.
the new archive doc type,
Oh,
and it has
good,
come
good.
with the NPO. This is my archive
Yeah.
doc type, right?
Yes.
Now, why this
Yeah.
thing
Good.
is
Good.
not NPO and all that, we will discuss it separately in the next upcoming
Okay.
sessions. Okay,
Okay.
so here here if you see, these are the content repository,
Mm.
right? If my
Mm.
content repository itself is not accessible, okay, now what will
Mm.
happen at that point of time? No one can see it. So like for example, if I just want to see this particular doc id, and whether I
Mm.
can see the invoice copy or not, right? So I will just show you. See, this is my, let's suppose this is my doc id, and if I just click on
Okay.
image, okay,
Mm.
see what exactly it is saying. Can't reach this page. If the server itself is not activated,
Mm.
which we have assigned to my content repository id,
Yeah.
right? Then no one can see the image copy.
Okay. So, but can we restrict like some particular user, like super users should see, but not
Mhm.
for others, this image?
Super super users can see.
Yeah, they should see, but
Mhm.
not the AP team. Those people can see all these invoices, whatever it is. But it should not be visible for the other people, like other than non-AP users.
No, I think then we have to do the customization. This is not the part of the standard, because
Not the one.
yeah, because see, this is very much uh, like what happened basically whenever you are doing the archiving, right? So if, yeah,
Mm.
might be like if the server we don't want to access it, like that we want to restrict it with the help of the basis team, that we can achieve it. So now if you
Mm.
if you talk about this content repository, right? So uh,
Yeah.
let me just show you. So here you are clear, right? So this is what I cannot see it, right? I cannot see the
Yeah.
invoice copy. So let
Yeah.
me just go to SPRO.
Why you cannot see is because you have to do some more configuration over here.
No, no. So that particular
Mm.
server is not accessible. So
Okay.
wherever I have stored, wherever I have moved the invoice copy, right? So the content
Mm.
repository ID which MA was showing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So let me show you.
Okay.
So this is the content repositories.
Correct.
Okay. If I just go to this and
Mm.
search for MA,
Mm.
MA is my content repository, right? Which I have just
Yes.
saved it.
Yes.
So this is my
GTMA.
MA, right? And if I just
Yeah.
go here, this is my uh, transfer directory.
Mm.
Okay, and here it is just storing in the system database. Okay, this is storing in the system database. So mostly like it is stored in the logical repository or HTTP content server.
Mm.
This
Okay.
is just
Okay.
an
So that
idea
should
server.
be ready.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the idea server. So what happened, like if you see for your client, right? So if you go to the edit content repository, you can see the storage type will always be the HTTP content server.
HP. Correct. Okay.
Okay, and there they have specified the server name. Okay, that particular
Okay.
server name. So it is, so all the invoices are getting stored in the similar server.
Mm.
Okay, so here we
Okay.
do this, all these configurations. So this is, but this
Okay.
is the part of the basis.
Okay.
Okay, any questions?
Uh, Nothing. Like, okay, another thing. Like, do we have to maintain? Oh, that's what you said. Like every 7 years, or depends on. But that much capacity the system has, right? Like if you're storing for more than 2 years.
It's all about it doesn't have any relevance with your SAP application
Okay.
server. This is
Okay.
related
Okay.
to the some external server where we can store it.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Even like I
very.
have seen for my client, like from the last 15 years, I can access it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not
Ah,
something like, because most of the company wants to store those PDF copies. But yeah, there could
mm,
be a chance that they want that, okay, it is taking a lot of spaces, so let's remove
mm,
it. So they can directly
mm.
do it from the backend itself.
Okay. Backend means what? What you are saying? Like.
So here I have shown you content repository ID, right?
Yeah, okay.
So there is a server. So in the server, the basis team can remove.
Okay, like that. Okay, sorry. Got it, got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, the server, they go there and then they can remove all those things.
So it happens basically because due to the upgrade, update and all. So it's just
Mm,
like basis team, if they find that okay, the storage is very less or something, so they just
mm.
remove it based on the agreement which has been done between the
The
uh,
client.
client. Like if the client is having that requirement, okay, I don't need it, and if anything extends beyond 5 years, then you just
Mm,
remove the doc like images from the server.
okay,
So that will be the part of the basis activity that they can do it.
fine, fine. Okay, got it. And see, if, for example, if from quality you are copying all the Vim doc ID and the server, these things, and if you it can we try to see that image in the development?
No.
It's not.
If
It's
the
not right.
content
And it,
repository, if the content
mm,
repository is different,
mm,
like
yeah,
let's suppose we have created three content repository, one for
yeah,
development, one for quality, one for production. Now what happened?
yes,
Like we do the update and all, right, maintenance and all, where we dump the production data into the quality system, right?
correct.
So whenever
Yeah.
we dump it, so the server basically the content repository which is used in production is different than the quality,
Mm,
right?
okay.
So that
Yeah.
guy can never see it in the quality. That image copy will never be visible.
Visible. Okay. Fine. Fine. Got it. Yeah. Well, that's what even I understood. So I just want to check with you. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that is the way it is working. Yeah.
correct, correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
Yes.
now going back, so this archiving part, you're clear with the concept, right? So
Yeah, I'm clear with that.
yeah. So here you have already seen it, that this is the unique ID again gets created, archive doc ID, and this is the archive doc type basically,
Okay.
which we can see. Okay. So now going to the next and also, yeah, one more thing, like we can also check it in the TOA01, right? That's the relationship table, right?
Yes.
Which I have shown you. So that is a linkage which
Yes.
we have done it.
Mm.
Document archive doc. See, here
Mm.
it is saying this is the SAP object ID. This is the your Vim doc ID. This is the
Okay.
content repository, and this is the doc ID, and this is the doc type.
Mm. Okay.
So everything is getting stored in this TOA01. That is a
Mm. Okay.
linkage table.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
go to
Clear.
the next topic. Now
Mm.
Vim roles. Okay.
Mm.
So what is a role basically? So like the role is nothing. It is a person, work center, could be any user who is going to
Mm.
take action on those items. So for example, we are having a EPT, right? So like
Mm.
let's suppose we are processing the invoices for the Germany, right? So
Mm.
for the Germany, we have a setup of the different AP teams, correct? So there could
Okay.
be a
Yeah.
10 AP teams who is going to process the invoice,
Mm.
correct? So we
Yeah.
will create one role, and under that role, we will assign all these users.
Mm. Okay.
Clear? Who can process the
Yeah.
invoice? Now there
Yeah.
could be another role, for example,
Mm.
requisitioner, who has created the
Mm.
purchase order. We need some input
Okay.
from him, right? We need some
Yeah.
approval from him. So we can
Mm.
create a role for the requisition.
Okay.
So the person who is going to take action on those items basically is for which we create a role in the system.
Mm. Okay.
For example, text team. We need some input from the text team to identify the text code.
Mm.
I am a AP user. I am not be able to understand it from face of the invoice. What could be the text code which needs to be selected? So I can refer it to the text team and will ask the relevant information from them.
Mm.
So like that, we create the roles in the system.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
so to achieve the role part by assigning each and everything, so first we
Mm.
create a role with transaction code. /opt/cp underscore 9cx5. You know, since you
Okay.
are a SAP consultant also, you know, if we put a /o, then the next screen opens, right? So we always
Yes.
try to put the /n before it.
Okay.
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 It is not like the to open the next session.
Mm.
Okay. So here, create a role using T code this. Okay. So we can create the role using this transaction code. Then we create the
Okay.
role template, where
Mm.
actually we are finding it out, where we are defining that whether it is a field-based template, field-based role template, the organizational level role template, or the functional module based role template. What does it mean?
Mm.
uh,
Okay.
like field level uh, template, as in like we are saying that for this particular company code, I want that these users should be there. Okay, there are like for 1,000 company code, we are having a
Mm.
10 AP users who will process the invoice. So these are the 10 AP users, so that we will assign it. For 2,000 company code, I want the separate users will be there, so it's the separate role we can create it. That is a field level. Then the second
Okay.
thing is the organizational unit base. So where we can have the work centers, we can have the users and all, so which we will assign it. So to specific to those users, the workflow can be triggered. Now the third thing is the functional module. So functional module is a technical part where like you can ask your developer and will ask it based on your
Mm.
requirement. Like for example, I want my approval should be triggered to the buyer.
Okay. Directly to the buyer. Yeah.
Correct. So we can put the FM, we can
Mm.
write the FM, and based on it, whoever has created the purchase order, I want that the workflow should be triggered to to that buyer.
Mm. Okay.
So like that, we can create the role in the system. Correct? Understand?
Yes.
Then once
Yeah.
we create the role template, so role template is
Mm.
nothing. It's like we are defining it based on the requirement, which
Mm.
template type we need to select. Then the third thing
Mm.
is the role template and the role assignment. So we have created the role, we have created
Mm.
the role template. Now we have to assign those two things. Correct?
Yeah.
Then once we are done with this, then we maintain the users against each role using transaction this.
Mm.
So these are the four ways by which
Mm.
we achieve this functionality. Okay.
Okay.
Now now you are clear with it, right? So so
Yeah.
now let's go inside.
Mm.
So this was just an overview. Let me open it.
Okay.
I don't know why it is disconnecting every time.
Maybe net client connection. I think you can increase the time period, something the basis does for that.
Yeah. This is an idea server, and earlier I used
Yeah.
to use different ideas, but
Mm.
there was some issue going on, so that is the reason I have purchased the new ideas.
Okay.
Okay, so now here we have the transaction /n/opt slash cp
CP
underscore
underscore 9C.
9cx5.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for the role creation.
Mm.
Now when we create the roles, okay, so we create
Mm.
the roles under the product code.
Mm.
We have discussed the object types, right? So which
Mm.
we assign to the archive doc types, correct? /opt slash
Mm.
p1001 bkpf bus 2081. Now we have the
Yeah.
product code. So the
Mm.
product code basically helps to identify whether we are going to use this particular role for the blocked, for the parking of the invoice, for or before the posting of the invoice.
Okay. So can you repeat again? So this
Yeah.
product code is like.
So product code basically it we create the product like we create the role based on the product code, which
Yeah. Got it.
identifies, okay,
Mm.
which will
Mm.
tell us that whether we want to use this particular role for the block invoices,
Mm.
for the non-PO invoices, for the parked invoices, or for the
Okay.
invoices before invoice posting.
Okay.
Now we commonly use the product code 005 before the invoice posting.
Okay.
Okay. We
Okay.
use the LIX product code for blocking during the blocking time. We use the PIR product code for parking. Okay, everything is there in the see.
Oh, okay. Fine. Fine. Okay, it's done. Okay. Got
Okay,
it. Okay.
so these are the three things. So like
So these are
double
the
zero,
standard things. Yeah.
these are the very standard things. Yes,
Okay.
you are not going to create any new product code.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, so these are the three product codes which we always created. So before posting of the invoice, obviously, like we have to create AP teams, the requesters, the buyers, and all, right? So that we
Yeah.
always created. So
Okay.
how can we create it? So like let's take an example. Mm, let's take this. Okay, I'm just copying, creating it
Okay.
underscore AB versus demo. Okay, so I'm just putting this one.
Okay.
So I have created the role as a Z underscore AP underscore SAN.
Okay.
Now I'm just putting it here so that we shouldn't miss this. For example, so like we have created the 9CX5, right? So we have put the product code. I have created the role name and the key determination.
Okay.
I've created the key determination. There should be, yeah, this is the one. Okay, so this should be also ticked.
Okay.
This is for the active to do the active. Sorry, that's a active indicator.
Okay.
Okay. So key determination tick is mandatory for field-based template, while for other template like this, it is not required to tick.
Okay.
So this is for the like field-based template. I have told you, right? There are three types of templates, rule templates. One is the field-based template. Second one is the organizational unit-based template, and the
Yeah.
third one is the function module-based template.
Share
Right.
model. Yeah.
Right. So for the
Yes.
field-based template, this key determination tick box is mandatory. If you will not put it, then when you are creating the role template for based on the template type field based template, then system will not accept it. System will throw you an error.
Okay.
Okay. So so this is the one. So we have created the role, right? Now what we will do is we will create the role template. So this is the
For the
9CX2.
role. Okay.
Right. So in the 9CX2, we create the role template. So here, if you see, this is just go to the template definition, right? Here we will create the template. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And let me select this one. Let's take an example. And what I have put the role name as ZAP underscore SAN. Let me just
Yeah.
put the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, if you see, this is what I was talking about, the template type.
Okay.
Field-based template or unit template and the function module based template. Okay.
Okay.
Mostly we use org unit or function module based. I have hardly seen someone use the field based template.
Okay. So field based means like, is it particular to any? Can you give
Correct.
an example? Like,
Yeah. So field based basically it helps you like let's suppose you want that you have a 1,000 company code, and for 1,000 company code there is a separate role. For 2,000
okay.
company code, I want the separate role
Yeah.
to be created. So based on the company code, so field based means
Okay.
like based on some particular field, you want to do the
Okay.
bifurcation.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Yeah, okay. Particular company code or something like, yeah, some vendor or
Correct.
particular based on the table fields like that, something like
Right.
that. Okay.
Right. Right. So now I will like let me just see it whether is there any example. Yes, we have the examples also available.
Mm.
So here, if you see, like let's suppose this one, let's take this one.
Okay.
Go to the template field. So here, what we are doing is they are doing with the company code and plant. So that is a
Plant.
field where they have find it out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
The table
Now if
is
I check
the
it,
head table.
correct,
Okay.
correct. So based on it, they are finding it out. Okay, this should be my role, which needs to be selected.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
clear, right? So this is for the
Yeah. Yeah. I've
field-based
got it.
template.
Okay.
Okay, so then we have the functional module. So functional module, I told you, right, that for the buyers and all, we always try to create the FMs
Okay.
because there is no
So,
meaning of putting the
mm,
organizational unit for the any of the
mm,
buyer.
yeah.
Why? Now, question is why? Why we can't put the organizational unit? Because uh, whoever, like, let's suppose, let's take an example of one of the company code 1000. We are talking about the 1000 company code. So for the 1000
Mm.
company code, like there could be hundreds of
Multi.
requester who can create a
Yeah.
purchase
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
We
not a
cannot,
one particular person.
so we cannot send it to all the users for their approval, right?
Mm.
They are not the right person who can provide the PO approval or for the non-PO, anything it could be,
Yeah.
correct? So,
Yeah.
so what we do basically, so that is something which we like. We cannot put the organizational unit. Organizational unit, where can we put it? For the APT
Yeah.
or for the text team. Let's suppose the vendor maintenance team. We know the people, right?
Mm.
To whom this needs to be triggered. There will be a separate team who
Yes.
will look into all these activities.
Yeah.
But obviously, for the approvals for the buyers and all, obviously we cannot go with the organizational unit base. So this is just an example. Like
Mm.
where do we actually use such type of template types?
Okay.
You got it right?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, perfect. So here, like I have just created the template ID, right? I
Mm.
think that pp underscore SAN. Let me just copy this.
What is allow PDOG
I
means?
think this is
Means
the
what's the
template.
use of it? Oh,
Yeah, it's literally a template field. So like it will be activated only for the field based template. See,
okay. 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 Yeah.
see.
Okay. Like that.
Okay. So what? So like if it is a function module, right, or the org
Yeah.
unit, you cannot go to the
Mm.
template fields and template field details
Okay.
because we are not bifurcating based on the fields, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So like if I like let's suppose I just want to go to this org unit, I want to click on this template field. System will not allow. See, the operation
Allow
is not
us.
allowed for the template type org unit. Or
Okay.
let's suppose I'm just taking the function module. See,
Mm.
operation is not
It
allowed
won't
for the
allow.
template of function module. But
Mm.
for this field based system has allowed me. Okay, this is a company code. Based on this company code, I want to trigger it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So this is
Okay.
about the template creation. Now, once
Mm.
we have created the template, we have to
Mm.
assign the template ID with my role. Correct.
Mm. Yeah.
So here, if I go to the product role template configuration, right? So here,
Mm.
what I will do, I will just copy it, okay,
Mm.
and put my role
Yes.
and my template ID.
Mm.
Okay, it's done.
Mm.
So I will
Okay.
save the TR. Where is
Mm.
it? Let me find it out. 005. Sorry, template ID is this. Why? 005. I have saved it, right?
Yeah, you saved it. Even it came into the transport. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Sometimes these find won't work
Yeah,
that
this is it. This is even.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
And
it
then
is
we
there.
have to activate it. Active indicator.
Okay. Okay.
So this is how we create the roles in the system. Okay.
Okay.
So first what we have done is we have created the role with transaction code /opt/cp_9cx5, right?
Yes.
Then we have created the role template with transaction code 9cx2, right? Then we have done with this activity. So I have taken the field type as the org unit. Okay. Now I will see. So I have already assigned the role. So there is one more transaction where we also assign the users. Okay. So for the field
Okay.
based template and all, we do like that thing only. So
Okay.
so that is a 9cx4. So this is the one. So here,
Okay.
if you see, there should be my role. This is the one.
Down. Yeah. Fine. Okay.
Fine. So you can see that I have put the user and the access 20. So this is my user ID which I am using it currently.
Okay.
Okay. So like that, we mostly use the what we call it, organization unit, or the uh, what we
The
say,
function module.
or the function model. Yes, correct.
Function
Thanks.
module.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is about the role creations and all the system. So this is
Okay.
how we create the roles in the system.
Hmm.
Okay. Now here, like I have discussed in this slide, right? Let me just put it in. Yeah. So key determination field that needs to be ticked, that is mandatory for the field-based template training, template
Yes.
type, right? Then we create the role template. So I have just described each and everything what exactly we need to do. So for the field-based template, what exactly we do, description, click on save, then field ID, like we have to put it based on the company code, right? So like that, we
Yeah.
just put each and everything for the field-based template.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the org unit, how can we achieve this? So like org unit, I have already shown you on the screen, right? So this is how we
Yeah.
create for the org unit. For FM based, so we have to put the FM, right? So based on the either with the custom FM or the standard FM, so that we have
Okay.
to put it accordingly. So like for the request or anyone, so we always take the template type as the function FM based template, correct?
Okay.
To identify
Okay.
the who could be the user.
Yes. So there's there are already standard FMs, right? We can copy
Correct.
from that and
We have seen
oh,
it, right? Let
yeah.
me just show you again. So we just go to
Okay.
the 9cx2, right? And in the template definition, if you go here, see. So these
Oh,
are the
okay.
FM base,
Okay.
right? So for the
Okay.
buyer, we already have this receiver,
Oh, okay.
requester,
Okay.
requisitioner. So like that, we already have the standard FMs basically in the system.
Oh, good. That's good.
Okay, so like let's suppose we want to see what are the things, what are the FMs basically which SAP has given to us. Okay, we can go to directly to the SE37. Okay,
Okay.
and put this /opt/bl underscore role and put the star.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah.
we can see
It
these
brings.
are the various FMs which SAP has given. So like for the role
Okay.
requester, it has given as a non-PO. It will directly give you the hint basically which FM to be used with your short text description which SAP has given.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. Good.
like we want that the first line of the requisition specified and PO should be triggered so that we can assign the role accordingly.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Good. Got it.
Yeah. So once we have created the template ID, then we assign the role template to let me sorry role template ID to role using T code this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so where we are doing this assignment, so it will remain in the same transaction 9cx2, right? So that I have shown right in the 9cx2 itself. So here you can see, so this is a template definition. Once you have done the template definition, then you have to go to the product role template configuration and assign
Okay.
your role with your template ID under the product role.
Okay.
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 So this is the role template. So this is how we do it. Then assign user to role. So in 9CX4 I have shown you, right? So like you can select
Yeah.
your product code and role, and then based on it you can do accordingly do it. Now in the organization based template, right? So I have selected the agent type
Yes.
as US.
Yes.
US is a user.
User, yeah.
There could be a multiple agent type like work center, right?
Okay.
Work, now what is a
Okay.
work center? Work center is also a person or the group of the person. So in
Mm.
the so what we can do is like this is the part of something which like which your, if there is any workday HR or something, so the HR team do all like maintain the employees under the one work center or anything. For example, you have a team like the APS team is there, right? So in the APS
Yeah.
team, like there is a separate team. Like for France, there is a separate APS team. For Brazil, there is a separate APS team. For India, there is a separate APS team. APS
Mm.
team or AP team. Okay. So
Okay.
so
Okay.
base
Okay.
yeah. So like AP team basically. So like for each country, there will be a different AP team, right? So we
Yeah.
can create one work center for each country
Mm. Okay.
and put all the resources there. Now where we do,
Okay.
okay, so there we create the agent ID and we just assign it
Oh,
there. And then
okay.
agent ID can be looked from the PPOME transaction. So this is, as I
Mm.
mentioned, that this is something which needs to be done by your HR, like HR department
Yeah.
and all.
Yes. Yeah. If the system has SAP HR thing as
Correct,
well. Yeah.
correct. So this is the PPOME, and here like
Mm.
let me find it out if I got something.
Like the org structure.
Let me put the position, key fields. Uh, what is this? It is checking some authorization check.
Mm.
Okay. If I just double click on this.
Okay.
Now see. So here
Mm.
it is a task assignment. So this is the manager basically. And under him there is
Okay.
Max something who is working under him. So like
Okay.
that, go to create and belongs to which, so like incorporate
Okay.
work
Very good.
center.
Yeah.
So like that we can assign the like
Mm.
the your work center or the agent ID basically we can say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how it works basically. So like here we can uh, club all the AP users in one agent ID and will assign it to my role.
Mm.
Okay. So that the workflow can be triggered to them. But seriously, like for the AP team, I don't find that it is very much because they don't go with their workflow. They
Yeah.
always directly go the VIM workplace and process the invoice or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So this is
Mm.
how it works. So like then here the new work center gets created. So based on it, like
Yeah.
if we want to create it, we can create it. So here the object IDs gets created, right? So here
Okay.
in this object ID, we can have multiple users accordingly. We can assign it. So like here
Mm.
the assignment is there. So like that it is there. So this
Okay.
is something which is the PPOME is something the HR part basically,
Yes.
right? So this is how it. So this is like we can get the unique ID and we can assign it
Mm.
accordingly in your in my 9CX4 transaction. So this is the transaction.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So like for organizational based template, like select your product code and role, click on new entry, select agent type and agent ID based on PPOME T code. This needs to be created from business end or HR. Once we assign to specific agent ID, then whatever the agents are available, the workflow will be triggered to those user ID, which they can see in SBWP transaction. SBWP, you know, right?
Yeah, I know, inbox.
Correct, correct. So like if I, so here also, this is, which one? This one,
Yeah,
right?
let's see.
No. Yeah, this one.
Yes.
SAP Business Workplace or the
Yes.
SBWP,
Okay.
right? It's the same transaction.
Okay.
So where
Yeah.
we can see all the workflows here. See here.
Pending over. Yeah, whatever
Right.
it is.
So many things are pending for me. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
It's clear, right?
Yeah, I'm clear in
And
this one.
yeah, so like this assignment of user is basically used for in 9CX4 for the field base and the organizational base. Functional FM based template is not required, right? Because we don't need to assign any user. It is just like your FM should be sufficient enough to capture the user dynamically, basically.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, I got it. Got it, this one. Yeah.
Great, great. Okay, so now we will jump to the Vim process types.
Okay.
Now, what is this Vim process type or the business rule? So, to process any of the invoices, okay. So, whenever we process the invoices, so based on the business requirement, we create certain exceptions in the Vim to process the invoice further. For example, in Miro or FB60, what are the mandatory fields?
Mostly document date,
Document
or
date,
the
invoice reference
date and
number,
reference number. Yeah.
right?
And
So
the
these are
company,
the
vendor.
correct. So these are the various process types. These are the various messages which will come when we process the invoice in the Miro transaction, right? The same thing happens in the Vim also. In the Vim, we already have a pre-configured process types. Okay, but there are few process types basically which we can create customized process types also, or like SAP has given so many process types, standard process types, okay, which also we can see. So for example, let me just I think in the Vim demo I put it. Yeah, fine. So these are the standard business rules.
Okay.
Let me do one thing. Let me just copy these two and put it there also. Okay. So here, so these are the various standard business rules which SAP has given for the non-pure, like invalid vendor, currency, requested ID, suspected duplicate, non-pure credit memo processing, like that. For PO, we have the invalid PO number, vendor, unit of measurement, currency, suspected duplicate. So all these are the things, these are the standard business rules which SAP has given to us. There are so many business rules. If we don't want to, like if there is any additional requirement which has come from the business end, then we can also create the custom business rule. Now, business rule, when we are saying this terminology, we the AP user or like they can understand it correctly. Business rules or exception. Okay. In layman language, we call it as a business rules or exception. But as a functional consultant, we call it as a process type.
Okay.
Okay. So here, so Vim functional people call it as a process type, while in simpler language, we can call it as business rules and exception. We need to show the exception message to AP team of business users if the values are not correct or based on business requirement. For example, missing mandatory information, reference is required, gross amount is required, process fee invoice, approval required. Like that, these
Yeah.
are the terminology, these are the words basically which comes, these are the exceptions which gets triggered if it is not being fulfilled.
Okay.
Okay, now as part of the standard process types,
Mm.
okay, as part of the standard process types, like one series process types we use it for the PO based, two series we use it for the non PO based,
Mm.
okay, three series for the down payment, four series is we use it for the some specific country,
Okay.
okay. Then we have the then we always, if we want to create any customize, then we always target to use 7, 8, 9 series, okay,
Okay.
just to so that everyone can understand it, uh, whatever the process type you have used it, right? So
Mm.
you can also find it out, like let's suppose you can put it like 8 series for the PO base and 9 series for the non PO base, okay.
Okay.
Now the process type is basically created with the 3 digits,
Mm.
okay, with the 3 digits,
Okay.
like it starts with 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, like that we have a various process types in the system.
Mm.
Now
Okay.
I will show you in the system what are
Mm.
the process types available. Okay, now I will go to the document processing. So here, what is how can we go there? So we can go to the process configuration, and there here is a
Mhm.
maintain process types.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can see process PO invoice, invalid PO number, invalid vendor, invalid unit of measurement, invalid currency, suspected duplicate. So like that, we are
Mm.
having the one series for the PO base. Okay,
Okay.
now if you see, then we will come for the two series for the non PO. See,
Mm.
right? So these are the standard ones.
Okay.
Three series for the down payments.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
four series specific to the country.
Okay.
Okay, then 7 series, 8 series, 9 series. So other than that, you can use any of the process types
For the custom
for the custom
based.
one. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now here, now when we are creating the process types, right? So like for
Mm.
example, we are using this, let me take the good example, suspected duplicate. Okay,
Okay.
you know, right, we have the concept of suspected duplicate, so system should also highlight me that
Yeah.
this invoice is a suspected duplicate,
Yeah.
suspected, right? So how do
Yeah.
we define this, that how system will identify that this is a suspected duplicate?
Mm.
So if the vendor invoice reference number or some, that combination is something same,
Yeah.
which is being created, and
Yeah.
you are again processing the invoice with the same number or something, so it will just highlight it, okay, this is a suspected duplicate, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
this will help the AP team not to process the invoice which is a duplicate, so it will highlight it. So this is as part of
Mm.
the like we are the function consultant, we can have such type of process type, we can recommend that you can use a suspected duplicate so that it will highlight it.
Mm.
Now
Yes.
in the process type, what exactly we do the configuration? So if I go to the details, so if you
Mm.
see, this is the description, this is the process type description, then this is the
Yeah.
initial role. Initial
Yeah.
role means like whenever this particular exception triggers, so
Mm.
who should process the invoice?
Yeah. Means
Okay,
to whom it should come, like
correct.
something
To
like
whom it
that.
should
Yeah.
come? Correct, correct.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the initial role. So this is how we put it. Then
Okay.
there could be a chance. So we have the initial actor FM also,
Mm.
which OpenText has given. So initial actor FM basically it will give that if there are multiple roles,
Mm.
okay, multiple roles are there, and
Okay.
there is some combination which we have to put it.
Mm.
Like for example,
Okay.
in India we have a two company codes. So we want
Okay.
that for the first company code, like let's suppose 1100 company code, we want
Mm.
that role 1 should be triggered. Okay.
Okay.
For 1200 company code, we want role 2 should be triggered. So like that, we can
Okay.
put it in the initial actor effect.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Then IS exception is the active to activate it.
Okay. Then will it will work?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then there is a
Okay.
characteristics check. So characteristics check basically this will help in like if we will just active this, then it will work based on the countries. It will become the country specific.
Oh, okay.
So we can do like for example, there are few process types which OpenText has given for India, like let's suppose HSN code and all, right? So this is
Mhm.
specifically to India. So
Mm, yeah.
so like that characteristics check, if we will just put it, so that means that
Mm.
we, and if we just put this characteristics check, then in the characteristics configuration we can add that particular process type, so that it
Mm.
will not be visible to any other country, it will only be visible to India.
Okay. Okay. But if you check it at the back end, somewhere you have to already it is defined the rules or like
No, no,
okay,
no,
this
no.
is G.
So here,
Mm,
there, if we will take this, and what will
mm,
happen, there is one options uh, in the document type configurations, we have a characteristic
mm.
specific document type configuration.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Yeah,
here, if
that's
you see,
okay.
this is for India.
Okay.
Okay, for
Mm.
India is
So
like index header characteristic specific process type. So like for example, this one.
okay. Okay.
So we want to use the HSN or sec code something, LST
Mm.
number. So like that, we can use it accordingly.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, let me again go back to the process types.
Okay.
So this is so you understood, right? Now I will just
Yeah,
show
I
you
understood.
one
Understood.
more process type of the approval.
Mm.
Settings will remain same. There are few things which we additionally use it. So
Okay.
till here we are clear, right? Basic configuration.
Yes.
Now in the approval required, if you have observed it in the previous process type, you haven't seen any workflow settings, the auto
Mm.
start and the workflow, right? So
Yeah.
this will we will always activate for the approval wherever the approval is required.
Okay. So for
Okay.
PO
But
approval required. No, it's not a non. Okay, this is a PO. Okay.
so this is the process type 150. Like
Okay.
one series is for the PO, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Same
One
like
is for PO. Okay.
same like for 250, that is for the
Is for
non-PO.
non-PO. Yes.
So if I just open this again, see,
Mm. Ah, fine. Fine.
got it?
So is it okay? Is it mandatory to do that?
Yes,
Because
it
it
is
has to
mandatory to do it.
automatically start it, right? Like it
Correct,
has to
correct.
do.
So it is a mandatory to do it. Otherwise, your workflow will not start. System will not find it out that the workflow needs to be triggered or not automatically.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But if you see invalid PO number, if I go here, you cannot see the workflow
Mm.
settings at all.
Nothing is there. Yeah.
Correct?
And no
Then
need to specify this task or binding function. Nothing.
no, 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 no,
I
nothing,
mean,
nothing, nothing.
okay.
So
Okay.
once you select this, and automatically it auto start will come. See,
Mm. Oh, okay.
just I just press enter, then automatically. So I have just click on. I need to just select this.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then so
Mm.
we are clear with this part thing, right? Then
Yes.
there is one more process type 165,
Mm.
which we use for the wait for GR.
Mm.
So if I just open this, now you can see wait or rerun settings.
Okay.
Now what it will do basically. So
Mm.
for example, uh, someone from the requester haven't performed the GRN in the system,
Mm.
and AP team received the invoice copy.
Okay.
So AP team, what AP team will do is AP team will see, okay, this is asking for this is like wait for GR, it is required that the
Mm.
GRN has not been done. So it will he will just stop it, okay, or it will refer to the requester.
Okay, so okay, correct my understanding. So you're saying like, okay, when it receives some doc ID, which is have to be GR has to be received. Okay, so it comes to this role. Okay, there's a
Correct,
POAP processor role. Okay,
correct,
fine.
correct.
So it will be so which will be having waiting time. So that AP team that role will be having some waiting time like this 120 hours, and
Correct,
then
correct,
push it back to that PO that buyer or whatever, right? Or is that
right,
the one?
right.
Okay.
So what happened basically? So here, like AP team was processing the invoice, but the
Yeah.
GRN has not been done in the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it will be like AP team. It cannot be put in the AP team's workflow, right? Every time, because
Yes. Correct.
it is the requester who needs to perform the GRN in the system,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So, so it is the requester who needs to perform the GR in the system, and since the AP team has received the invoice, so he needs to process the invoice further. So this is the
Yeah.
wait time for the 120 hours. So that is at 5 days. So
Okay.
till 5 days, like AP team doesn't have to do anything. It will be pending with the requester. It will show under the requester,
Ah. Okay. Okay.
and requester needs to perform the GRN, and requester once perform the GRN,
Mm.
then we have a one batch job which runs in the
Mm.
backend, which will nullify it, and
Mm.
then the like that particular exception will be released automatically.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So,
so here,
okay.
so this is the
Mm.
120 so this is, so now what will happen, like after the 5 days requester haven't performed anything, so it will again come back to the AP team's workflow, and AP team will
Mm.
process and will chase with the requester accordingly.
Okay. Okay.
Clear?
So, yeah, yeah, I got it. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So so this is the whole configuration of the process type creation.
Okay.
Now,
If, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, tell
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay. If, for example, that requester has done the GR receptor, okay.
Mhm.
So it again doesn't have to come to the AP team, right? Like if everything is okay,
If
all the
everything is
business
okay,
flows,
then yes, yes, correct,
automatically it should get posted, no?
correct.
Okay. So do we have to do the setting for that as well?
Yeah, yeah. So that particular process type, right? As I mentioned it, if he has done it, then there is
Yes.
one batch job which we have to run it, DRBR wait program.
Okay.
So this is
Oh,
the
okay, okay, okay.
DRBR wait program.
Okay.
So which we
Okay.
need to run, which we need to schedule it, and based on it, we can execute the invoice further.
Oh, fine, fine. Okay. But for that, we need to configure anything like this weight system. So, or this configuration is enough.
This all configuration is enough.
Enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now,
Mm.
so now you understood what are the fields which is available, right, for to create the process type. Now, if I just
Yes.
open, so now I have just shown each and here the things, right? So
Yeah.
what are the things? Now there is one more button
Mm-hmm.
called as a user
Mm-hmm.
process option.
Okay.
Now, user process option is nothing. It is a process option, or the in simpler way we call it as the buttons.
Okay.
So whoever is the initial actor, right? Like let's suppose
Mm-hmm.
the AP team,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So what are the options which we have to showcase to the AP team
Okay.
that we do in this setting?
Okay.
For example, like if the invalid unit of measurement comes, okay, so I
Mm.
want that the option, there should be an option which needs to be given, like the change document type, create new PO, change PO, change vendor master, create new vendor, post goods asset, post PO invoice, apply business rules, refer for information, refer to vendor maintenance. Okay. So
Okay.
refer to PO invoice AP processor. Yeah, again my screen got hanged. No, it's open now. Okay. No, screen got hanged. Just a
No.
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever we are creating the process type, we are assigning the buttons also. So for whoever is the initial actor, right?
Yeah.
So for example, it stuck in the suspected duplicate. So it
Yeah.
stuck to the this particular role, Z underscore
Okay.
AP, right? So
Yeah.
this particular user, what buttons can be visible to this particular user. So that setting we do it here.
Okay, fine. So that so you have to copy them. Oh, okay, you open. I will.
Hey, I don't know why.
Oh, is it
You
stuck
can
up?
see
Okay.
you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Only thing
Okay. I
that
am not
you no, now I am not able to see the screen. Yeah, now I
okay.
can. Now I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I have created one archive. Like there is one archiver. I have done it right. Let
Yes.
me just show you. So let's
Mm.
suppose this is the one.
Okay.
If I just execute this,
Mm.
okay, here it is asking for the approval. Let me do another one. I have created 1002, I believe, right? So here, if you see,
Ah, okay. Mm.
so this is my process option for AP processor.
Mm.
Okay. And
Mm.
here I can see I don't have any option, and here it is telling me invalid vendor or NPO.
Yeah.
Now, how this process option for AP processor apply rules is coming,
Mm.
correct? Invalid
Yeah.
vendor NPO.
Yeah.
What is the process type? Invalid vendor 201, correct? And the
Okay.
initial actor is Z
Yes.
underscore AP.
Okay. Got
So if
it.
I go to the user process option, I can see so many things,
Okay. Yeah.
right? I
Yes.
can see so many options available, but why only
Yes.
one option is visible to me?
Correct.
So this is the process option. This is the button which I was talking
Okay.
about.
Okay. 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 Got it now. Got it.
Okay. So how
Okay.
this thing is
Mm.
coming? So if you
Mm.
see, there is one
Mm.
from actor Z underscore AP, and this
Mm.
is my
Okay.
initial actor, right?
Yes.
For 201, my initial actor is Z underscore AP, right?
Yes.
In my user process
Yes.
option, when I went inside, so I can see
Mm.
there is only from actor Z underscore AP, which is assigned to
Mm.
2012,
Yes.
correct?
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
that is
That's
the
why you're
reason,
seeing only.
correct,
Okay.
correct, correct. Understood, right? Now,
Understood.
just
Yeah.
for the confirmation,
Mm.
what I will do is I will just show you
Mm.
one thing here. Now my initial actor is Z underscore AP, right? So what I have done
Mm.
is I also want refer for information where it will go to the info underscore provider. I'm just
Okay.
saving this,
Okay.
okay, and we'll see
Mm.
whether I'm getting one more options or not for one to
Okay.
two. See,
Oh, okay. That's good. Fine. Okay. So this is the place it is controlling all the
correct,
buttons.
correct,
Fine.
correct, correct. Understood, right?
Yeah.
So for
Understood that.
process types, so for all the process types, we have assigned the role,
Mm. Mm.
correct? That's the initial actor. And that
Okay.
particular initial actor, we are putting like for that particular user, we are assigning the buttons which needs to be
Mm.
visible, so that we have to put it here as part of the settings.
Okay. Okay.
It's clear, right? Like I've
Yeah, I
shown you
got it.
that how it works basically.
Yes, yes, got it.
Again,
For that role, we have to
correct,
create all these whatever buttons they are in need. Yeah.
correct.
Okay. And these function modules are standard, no need to change anything, no? These check function modules.
Yeah, these are the standard ones.
And no need to change
No,
anything or anything.